Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks, your YouTube shop doc. And today we're going to work on getting a new grill built, a bumper and a grill to protect this Oliver 550 of mine when I go out into the field and I do some bush hogging and different things like that. When I get to bush hogging with this mower out in the field, the grass, there's two things. The grass and the leaves and the different things that are out there, the brush, are hitting up against this grill. This is a fiberglass grill. It's pretty stout. I mean, it's got a lot of strength to it, but it can't take the brunt of a bunch of branches and stuff. Plus, I painted this. You know, I really don't want it to get all trashed. And it had, you know, it originally had, when I got it, it had some breaks in the corners, no doubt, where things had hit it. And I just want to prevent all that. And so I think the best way to do that is to put a bumper on this, but then also a grill guard. So my first step, I think, is going to be making a bumper. I'm going to basically box this in, and then I'll build the bumper out, and then I'll build the grill guard up. Now, the first thing you got to do when doing this, and I've already done it, I did it off camera because I do a lot of things here in the shop that I don't necessarily videotape for YouTube. But I got into this and I thought this is probably something that some of the guys out there would like to do for themselves. If nothing else, there's guys that would be entertained just to watch somebody build a bumper on a Oliver 550. So that might be you, it might not be. But the first thing you want to do is get a pattern for your bolt pattern here. So that's the first thing we need to do, get a pattern cut, and now we need to go to the steel and fabricate it out of the steel, so let's do that. I'm just doing a fit up right now. Obviously, want to make sure all my bolts go in. That one's a little bit of a trick. And that one's a bit of a trick. Okay guys, so the whole point of getting of welding these together like this was to get this piece, one rectangular block that we can bolt right to that front end. You can see the welds came out really nice. I did a root pass with 6010, and then I did a final pass with 7018 5/32 rod. And I am going to have to grind this side because this is where the bolts go up against the tractor. So I need that to be flat. So if I were doing it again and rethinking this, I would have put this lip on top and the weld would have been on this side and I wouldn't have had to do any grinding. Hindsight's 2020. Well, I'm just going to look to put a couple screws in just to get it on there, mock it up, and then I'll show you what we'll do from there. So I've got another piece of steel here, and let's put that up against it and let's see what that looks like. So the bottom here is empty, so that I'll have to take a piece of plate steel and weld it in at an angle here, and that'll give it kind of a sloped front. So as stuff hit, it's gonna basically fold it over, push it forward. So I think I'll probably end up cutting the angle here. I'll probably end up cutting this down or at an angle, maybe even trying to weld in a piece of angle there, or a piece of triangulated steel there. And then the same thing over here. I'll probably cut it off right there, and then I'll end up putting my grill guard just slightly wider than the actual grill itself, and I'll try to, if I can, I'll try to mimic that angle. It's not straight up and down. Got our steel meshing right together. I also put an angle cut on the bottom of both sides. Gives it a much more symmetrical look and just more aesthetically pleasing to my eyes anyway. I've got it centered in here for both pieces. This is the part that goes on the tractor, obviously. So now what I'll do is I'll run a bead of weld here. All right, so we've got our steel cut. Now I've spent a lot of time getting this prepped. I didn't just buy the steel, I had to plasma cut all of this, so by hand. I don't have a plasma table, so it took a good bit of time to do that. I've spent a couple hours just prepping this steel as well as the slats that are going to go through here, and then I've got another piece going to go on top. So the way this works is this is the bottom, and I know that because I've got it measuring 21 1/8 inch, and the top measures 21 3/4. So the top is just slightly wider because the tractor itself tapers up like that. The angle here isn't important because this is a little bit longer than this. It's going to automatically get me my width here, but I don't want the thing to be racked. And so all I'm doing here is just checking my angle, and my angle just needs to be the same. What the angle isn't important, and really it's just off of 90, so maybe it's 91 degrees approximately for both, because remember I'm just oh, I don't know what I said, 3/4 of an inch or something wider on the top. So now what I need to do is I need to get some welds in the corner here. And I'd like to do that with stick. So I think I'll grab my stick welder and I'll run a bead of 60-10 uphill on all of these. And then on the second bead, I'll run some 70-18 to get it cleaned up and pretty looking. All right guys, so in the process of welding, it's warped. So I no longer have my angles that I needed. As you can see, this side here is off quite a bit. This side is actually not too bad. It's not exact, but it's not terrible. So we're going to take it over to the press now, and we're going to squeeze right through here and see if we can't tweak that a little bit. Putting it in the press worked. I actually took the bow that I'd put in it out with the welding, and now it's time to mock it up. So I've got it on the bumper here, and then I just used a piece of aluminum welding rod and kind of try to get a rough idea of how I want that framed on the top. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the video. This is number 1 of 2 videos. So part 2 is going to be on the right side of your screen right now. So click on it and see how I made this beautiful grill guard and bumper. I think you'll really enjoy it. I hope you are enjoying it. If you are, please like, subscribe, comment. I really do want to hear what you guys have to say and what you think about the bumper and the grill guard. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks.